Take a look at the top 10. Lamar is ranked higher than fellow quarterbacks Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, and Justin Herbert. Man, that was fast. So, Acho, is Lamar the best NFL player under 20?
So it's still 12. The show started at 12, and you're going to end up without a co-host and a wife before 12:01. Right? This man talking.
Everybody get it. You too. Get out of here. I'm a problem. What's up?
Man, Lamar Jackson, he's not the best player under 25, big dog. And it's not to say he's not a great player, and I don't even know why I have to say this, so I'm not going to say it. I'm going to save all the pleasantries and semantics. We all know how great Lamar Jackson is. But you're talking best players under 25, I'm talking projections.
Why?
Who is going to accomplish more? Who is going to do more meaningful things collectively on the football field? Now, it's not something that's super out of left field, because to me, the best player under 25 was the number 2 ranked player, Josh Allen.
Oh, you taking my boy, my brother from another.
Straight up.
That's my baby right there.
Why? Because, Sal, Josh Allen has already gone further in the playoffs than Lamar Jackson, and individually, Josh Allen has also accomplished more than Lamar Jackson.
Huh?
But Josh Allen didn't get rewarded for it. He didn't get the unanimous MVP Lamar Jackson got, but I challenge you at home. Look up Lamar Jackson's MVP season. Look up how many total touchdowns he had. Look up how many passing yards he had. Look up how many total yards he had. Then look up Josh Allen this past season. Look up how many total touchdowns he had. Look up how many passing yards he had. Look up how many total touchdowns and total yards he had, and you'll be like, wait a second.
Wait a minute.
Josh Allen, you individually had a greater individual season than Lamar Jackson when Lamar Jackson was a unanimous MVP. And Josh Allen, you've had greater playoff and greater collective success than Lamar Jackson has had. So individually, your highs have been higher, and collectively, your highs have been higher. You didn't get rewarded for it, unfortunately, because you ran in a faster heat that race. However, you still ran a faster time than Lamar Jackson. You just didn't end up getting the gold. You took home the silver. Lamar Jackson took home the gold. That's fine. But what I'm saying is, if we really being real, right now, Josh Allen is a faster sprinter. He is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson, both individually and collectively. Lamar Jackson is way swaggier. Lamar Jackson has all the style, has all the charisma, has all the personality, and is incredibly likable. I'll go as far as to say lovable. I loved him coming out of Louisville. I love him right now. But that doesn't take away from the fact of the truth. And the truth is, Josh Allen is a better quarterback right now than Lamar Jackson.
That was your take? That's it?
I got one in the chamber, but I didn't want to leave with my surprise.
Okay. Oh, you better. Oh, was this a box of Cracker Jacks or something? At the bottom of it is going to be your surprise. Good luck with that. Yes, it's Lamar Jackson, and it's simple. I want to deduce it.
Please.
Look, first of all, this is based on performance, not projections. Once again, you like to do what you like to do, which is skew the definition. Go ahead.
Go either way.
Okay, so if you're under 25, it's based on how long you've been on this planet. And if you're under 25 in this Bleacher Report, it's based on what you've done in the NFL under the age of 25. Lamar Jackson, second to none. Any other unanimous MVPs on this list? I'll wait. It's going to get quiet up in here. Anybody? No. Oh, why? Because only one other player in NFL history can even say that. Lamar Jackson hit the ground running. Lamar Jackson saved coaches' jobs and steadied the franchise. Lamar Jackson is the main meal on this. Everyone else, damn, this hurts, including you, Josh Allen, is condiments to this main meal, to this main course. Let me tell you why. Josh Allen didn't hit the ground running. That counts in this conversation. Josh Allen's second year wouldn't have qualified to be with Lamar Jackson. Only 1 year, the anomaly, maybe you can go there and say. Because if we don't see that with consistency, if we don't see that supported with another great season, it could turn into a Baker Mayfield roller coaster. Yeah, I brought his name up. Point being, I'm looking at Josh Allen like, oh, talented. Oh, you know I love you. Oh, you may turn out to be the greatest. But right now, you started off too slow to even qualify for the semifinals, let alone the finals against Lamar Jackson. I remind you that he had 10 touchdowns and 12 interceptions under the age of 25. That ain't going to get it. I'm going to remind you 20 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. If Lamar Jackson ever went out there and gave you either one of those seasons, duck, bow, he got to go. So I'm not going to give Josh Allen the nod over a unanimous MVP, even though I know it. Here's the thing. An amazing career by Lamar Jackson already. We're talking about Lamar Jackson in regression, still having a great season. when we're talking about only with Josh Allen in your conversation, him continuing to improve to get to Lamar Jackson's level. So I'm ready to dive and dig into this Cracker Jack box because I'm waiting for the surprise because so far you ain't got enough for me.
Well, honestly, I don't have to have enough with eloquent words because, so the numbers speak for themselves.
Well,
Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, who had more rushing touchdowns last year? Surely it was Lamar Jackson. Surely it was.
Do it.
It wasn't. It was Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, who had more passing yards last year? Surely it was Lamar Jackson. He was a unanimous MVP the year before. Ooh, it wasn't really close. Lamar Jackson had 26 passing touchdowns this year. Josh Allen had 20 in his second season. So really, if you want to look at the last 2 years collectively of both their body of work, it is very comparable. So if their last 2 years, not just 1 year isolated, if their last 2 years are comparable, then give me the guy who's currently peaking. Don't give me the guy who was off of his peak.
What?
Now, being off of his peak is still being a bad man. But still, this past year, Josh Allen was a dude. But the real crux of my Josh Allen argument, before I get to my surprise at the bottom of the Cracker Jack box. Y'all wait for this one. The big crux of my Josh Allen argument is until you or someone, anyone, please prove to me that you can win a Super Bowl. Please prove to me that you can win a Super Bowl playing the game of football the way the Ravens have Lamar Jackson playing
Young. Okay,
then I can't do that.
Young. Okay, go ahead.
And I'll tell y'all this, because y'all at home will be like, oh, well, Steve Young. Oh, well, Russell Wilson. No!
I'm not done.
Lamar Jackson has 2 passing yards for every 1 rushing yard. When Steve Young won the Super Bowl, he had 13 passing yards for every 1 rushing yard. Josh Allen this past year had 10 passing yards for every 1 rushing yard. Y'all look at the list. These are Super Bowl winners. The year they won the Super Bowl, how many passing yards for every 1 rushing yard? Acho, what does this mean? Why you giving me all this Columbia jargon? Because what it means is simple. You can't win a Super Bowl only passing the ball twice as far as you run the ball. If y'all was traveling across the country and you flew only twice as many miles as you drove, there would be a problem because it's much easier to fly than it is to drive. And as long as the Ravens try to run their offense exclusively by driving, I don't think they can win a Super Bowl. I'll end like this.
Yeah, you better keep going because you ain't not enough.
Like this.
That's not a good surprise.
That's not it. That's not a surprise. Russell Westbrook's an incredibly talented basketball player. Incredibly talented basketball player.
Bringing up
because we talk about a lot of sports on this show. You competent enough to talk them, ain't you? It's
not
been a
right
couple,
now.
You need to go back and get your master's degree.
I'm trying.
Because the undergrad degree wasn't enough.
At Columbia? Hell no, I ain't failing out of that.
Russell Westbrook's an incredible basketball player, maybe the most athletic basketball player we've seen with the ball in his hands on the court. He's gotten a Supermax deal. He's sold out arenas. He's won MVPs. But notable analysts will admit you can't win an NBA championship playing the game of basketball the way Russ plays it, limited shooting, etc. Lamar Jackson will get a Supermax deal as it pertains to football. He is maybe the most athletic football player we've ever seen with the ball in his hands. He will sell out stadiums. But thus far, the NFL has proven you cannot win a Super Bowl playing the game of football the way the Ravens currently have Lamar Jackson playing.
You catch me right now? You feeling my body language? It's when you get in a real relationship and stop being super single, you're going to learn this performance art of not listening. I do it to my wife all the time. I'm just like, yeah. And she does it to me as well. What the hell are you talking about?
The truth.
Has Josh Allen?
The truth.
Has Josh Allen won a Super Bowl?
The truth.
Has Josh Allen won a Super Bowl?
He got close.
Just like this. This punch got close too, but guess what? Did it hit? No. What the hell? Woo. It's not about projections. It's about performance. I don't need you to come up here trying to profess what you think's going to happen. Hasn't happened yet at the age of 25 or younger. Josh Allen has not won a Super Bowl. So take that one off. Then you want to bring up pass attempts, and you want to talk about yardage. Josh Allen had I'm going to sound like I hate my dog, and I love my dog. 572 pass attempts. And you're going to compare his passing yard stats to a guy who had 376. Want to know why? Because on the fourth quarter, he talking to the cheerleaders, chilling with his pads off, out there winning. Oh, you want to talk about wins?
He was in the restroom.
Also,
he was in the restroom.
Well, he did that one time, but it was injury. It was an injury concern. That's a number 3 when you're hurt and you got to go to the bathroom. 461 pass attempts to 401. Lamar Jackson is winning so often and so fast that I'm not even in there in the fourth quarter half the times. Let's talk about the best quarterbacks under 25 because it's really only these two in this conversation. Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen. I wonder who has a higher win percentage. Ding, 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 ding. I wonder who has a higher completion percentage. You just told me that Josh Allen could throw the football as a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson. Why doesn't have a higher completion percentage? Anybody? Anybody? Okay. Oh, here we go. Passing touchdowns the last 2 years. Certainly is Josh Allen. Nope, sorry. Lamar Jackson once again. What about interceptions? Okay, you can have that with Josh Allen. You threw more interceptions than Lamar Jackson. What about yards per attempt? You know the guys with the big arms like Josh Allen. Oh, they gun it. They throw it deep down the field. Oh, Lamar Jackson beat him in that one. What about passer rating? Add it all up. Sum it up. Equal sign on the calculator. Shoot program, Nito. Guess what happens on this one? Lamar Jackson beats him in passer rating as well. Boy, if you don't stop. And then all that said, they just going to take it to the crib. And when I go to Josh Allen's house, am I going to see an MVP? Am I going to see a unanimous MVP? Dog, that's the cherry on top. But you act like it's not a lot of cake right here. Lamar Jackson, clearly, Bleacher Report got it right. Number one, under 25.
Since it's a Bleacher Report article, can we adhere to the Bleacher Report's criteria? The Bleacher Report's criteria. Production is, of course, important, although per-game productivity was weighted slightly more important than overall numbers.
I'm lost.
Potential was a significant consideration.
Yeah.
Potential was a significant consideration. So this is not just a conversation of what have you done.
Wait a minute.
This list is a conversation also of potential.
Oh, at University of Texas, they didn't tell you the difference between potential and projection? Oh, you can have potential in the present.
Yes, you can. But potential is also about a future.
It can be, and they just talked you around it with elastic language saying it's partly considered, but it's not going to be more than performance.
Correct. It's a combination.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
so
a combination.
We're going to start with the root. We're going to start with the foundation of performance.
Great. And the foundation
not projection.
The foundation of performance is negligible. Josh Allen threw 20 touchdowns his second season, had 9 rushing touchdowns his second season.
That ain't Lamar.
Lamar Jackson had 26 touchdowns this past season, 7 rushing touchdowns this past season.
Wait a minute.
There is a 5-touchdown difference.
Did you just do that? Did you just go second year Josh, but then you went third year Lamar?
I'm comparing your apples to apples. I'm comparing your apples to apples. Lamar Jackson's height is lower than Josh Allen's height. If you want to talk about, this isn't even a conversation argument. Just look statistically.
What?
Lamar Jackson's best is lower than Josh Allen's best.
But what about his worst?
Opinion.
You know you get graded on what you mess up to as much as you do well. You know that, right? You know that. You know that. Police don't stop you when you're going the speed limit. It's only when you exceed it.
Absolutely.
You know that the negatives in your life count as much as those positives?
Sure, but we don't ever talk about somebody's worst.
Hold on. Yes. You want to know who we are talking about? The 26th guy who didn't make this list because of 25 under 25. They didn't get in because they got too low of lows. Josh Allen's lows will drag him down even though he has 1 year of highs. But even in 1 year of highs, 572 attempts to a guy who threw 376. If we really want to go apples to apples, you can say Lamar Jackson, if you were out there trying to do the same things that Josh Allen was doing, you would exceed that as well. How you going to compare somebody's best against somebody's worst and then say you got a real
I'm not comparing somebody's best to somebody's worst. Look at their last 2 years.
I just gave you the last 2 seasons.
Their last
win percentage, completion percentage, passing touchdowns, passing yards per rate.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this.
Everything is
the Milwaukee Bucks have the best win percentage the last 2 years.
Another sport.
And what chips they got to show for it? What chips they got to show for it?
What does Josh got to show for it?
The best regular season win percentage the last 2 years. Don't talk to me about a regular season win percentage. Don't talk to me about regular season win percentages. Can we at least talk about playoff accomplishments?
Oh, yeah, we could go there. That's when you have an argument because you have none so far. Go playoffs. Talk about my Buffalo Bills make me feel good.
Okay, let's acknowledge it.
I like all these resets because I got you in them corners.
Who had a better regular season high at their highest, Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson? There's data that backs it up. It's not an opinion.
No. You know why the data is skewed?
It's not an opinion.
Because Lamar, his best year, he was fourth quarter chilling. I just gave you the numbers, bro. Compared to Josh Allen.
What was their record? The record of the Baltimore.
He was 13-2.
Correct. What was Josh Allen's record? 13-3. They were both fourth quarter chilling.
Which one's better?
They were both fourth quarter chilling.
Which one's better?
They both won 13
that's not
games.
point differential because the Ravens have a higher point differential.
They both won 13
Don't do that, dog. I'm trying to help you.
You ain't trying to help me do
I don't
nothing.
want to make you look bad.
Trying to help me do
Highest point differential is the Baltimore Ravens. That's why everyone's like, when y'all going to do something in the playoffs? There's higher point differential than it is with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, okay? Close games, you want to talk about the New England Patriots game? Deep in the territory? Oh, Cam Newton, look out, don't fumble. If not, you're going to beat the Buffalo Bills? You want me to keep doing that? Here's the point. Lamar Jackson was that guy so high that he didn't even finish those games and still was unanimous MVP. Don't compare that year to last year with Josh Allen, where he was in games and still having to play all 4
That year was
quarters.
worse than Josh Allen. Josh Allen is better in the regular season than Lamar Jackson was better in the regular season. I don't even like Josh Allen. That's the craziest thing. He got me up here defending a person I don't even like. I don't like Josh Allen.
You know what?
I like Lamar Jackson.
And I'm not going to lie to you because I love you too much. Your defense of Josh Allen showed that you don't really like him because your heart wasn't into it. If you're going to come at me, you got to come at me.
I'm not coming at you.
Lamar Jackson is the guy. And we're not even going to talk about other guys because some guys in this conversation.
You know, there's another person I put on this list before Lamar Jackson.
Who?
He ain't even in the top 10.
Who?
Nick Bosa.
He was hurt last year.
That's why he's not in the top 10.
Duh. Anything else?
Nick Bosa got.
I'm not in the NFL either.
Nick Bosa got 13 sacks his rookie year. 4th since the turn of the century all time as far as rookies.
Yep.
Nick Bosa, 4 sacks in the playoffs en route to a Super Bowl in a game in which he tremendously affected. I'm looking at this list. If potential, which they say is significant, I'm looking at who is more likely to have a bigger impact in big games over the course of their career. I'm not going to condemn Nick Bosa for getting hurt last year. I'm going to be an analyst and say, I'm going to be an analyst and say, wait a second. Who's more likely to have a bigger impact on bigger games over the course of their career, including Super Bowl games? To me, that's even Nick Bosa before I go Lamar Jackson. Because the way the Ravens lose Lamar Jackson right now, I don't see him going to a Super Bowl.
Now you got a conversation. Too bad we ran out of time. I've lost a lot of weight. You know why? I don't eat Cracker Jacks, especially when at the bottom of it.
No, because you're sweating. Especially when
he be sweating. Especially when at the bottom, the prize is Nick Bosa, who missed the whole damn season last year.